The Chitrik Academy is dedicated in loving memory of Rabbi Tzvi Hirsh Chitrik.
Welcome to today's lesson. Today we are going to learn from Itmar, which is the last word on the last line of Daf Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, until on the next page, the word siman, which is in parentheses by the red dot over here. Let's go over a few of the words that we are going to use in the following Gemara. Number one is the word yush. Yush means giving up. If a person realizes that he lost something and he's probably not going to find it again, he generally miyayish, he gives up, he abandons his item. That is what yush is. The second word is siman. Siman is a sign or a way of identifying or proving that an item belongs to you. So generally when a person has a siman, in most cases we would say that a person does not have yush, he does not give up on finding his item. In today's Gemara, we are going to discuss a case where a person was walking down the street, let's say this person in orange is walking down the street, and he dropped an item, and the next person, someone else was walking down the street and picked up the item. And he sees that the owner will probably give up. He'll probably have yush, he'll probably be miyayish, give up on finding the item when he realizes that it's lost. However, the owner is unaware that he lost the item. Can he keep it? Can the person who finds it keep it or not? This is what we are going to learn in today's Gemara. So let's start from the beginning. Itmar, we learned. Let's turn the page. Yush shalei medas. A case of yush shalei medas, a case of where the owner does not know that he will give up on it later on. He does not know that he lost an item. However, he probably will give up when he realizes. So what is the halacha? Abaya says, Lo yahavi yush. The person who finds it cannot keep it because the owner has never given up on it. Lo yahavi yush. This is the opinion of Abaya. V'Rava Amar, and Rava says, Havi yush. It is considered yush, and the person who finds it may keep it. Now the Gemara is going to try to analyze in what case are Abaya and Rava arguing. So the Gemara is going to bring three different cases to try to see where Abaya and Rava are arguing. Case number one is over here, which we're going to learn now. Case number two is over here. So let's make it 2 over there. And case, let's make it 2 on the side as well so we know where it ends. This is case number 1, case number 2, and case number 3 is over here. Right over here. Kipuigi, right over here, is the third case. So let's make it 3 over here. Let's read the Gemara. The first case is Bidavar sheyesh by siman. If the item that the person lost has a siman, has a sign, has proof on it, Kule alma, lepuigi. The whole world, everyone does not argue. Not Abaya or Rava. They don't argue. They both agree. The loy have a yush. That if a person finds it, obviously the owner did not give up on it because he has a siman and he could prove it. And even if later on we hear that the owner says, I am giving up on finding my item, even though I have a siman on it, lo yahavi yush. It is not retroactive yush. We do not say that when the person found it, he gets to keep it. Why not? Dechi asa liyadei bisurihu da'asa liyadei. Because when it came, dechi asa, when it came liyadei to the finder's hands, bisuruhu da'asa liyadei, it was asur to keep when it arrived at his hands. Dechi yada denafal minei, because when the owner finds out that he lost an item, lo miyayish, he will not give up on his item. Meimar Amar, he would say, Simana isle begave, I have a siman on my item. Yavna simana, I will give my siman, my sign, to the finder, and I will take it from him. And therefore, let's go to our board. In a case where even if the finder hears that later on the owner says that I'm giving up on finding my item, he still is unable to keep it. We do not allow him to keep it, because originally when the owner realized that it was lost, he thought of keeping it and only later on decided to give up on it. So let's go to our chart of the cases that we are going to discuss. So in the first case where it has a siman, the item that was lost has a siman, even if we find out later on that the owner says he's giving up on it, both Abaya and Rava will say that the finder cannot keep it, because when he found it, it was still something which the owner did not give up, because generally when a person has a siman, he doesn't give up on finding it. Even if later on he says I give up, but when it arrived at the finder's hands, it was usher to keep, and therefore he cannot keep it. So this is not the case that Abai and Rava are discussing, where they are arguing. What is the case? Let's move on to the second case. Bizuti shoyam, if a person left an item on the beach and the tide came and took away the item, lilusai shanahar, or if a wave came and washed away the item, afagav the ispe siman, even if there was a siman on it, rachmanya sharye, the Torah, Hashem, Sharya says they allow it. They allow the finder to keep the item, even though there's a siman. Kedbe'ina lemeimra lekaman, like we are going to say later on. So in the second case, let's go to our board, where even if it has a siman, but it was washed away by the water, both Abaya and Rava are going to say that the Torah allows the finder to keep it. So, in what case is Abaya and Rava arguing? Let's see the last case of the Gemara. Keep ligi, when are they arguing? In what case are they arguing? Bedavar she'ein by siman. They're arguing in a case where the finder found an item which does not have a siman on it. Abaya Amar lo have a yush. Abaya says that the finder cannot keep it, because the owner was never gave up on it. The haloi yada the nafal mine, because the owner does not know that it fell from him, and therefore he never gave up until later on. So when the person found it, the owner, in order to have yush, the owner has to acknowledge that it's lost and give up on finding it. But as long as the owner does not know that he lost it, it's not considered yush, and therefore the finder may not keep it. Rava says, have a yush. It is considered yush. Why? Because when the owner will find out that it fell from him, miyayish, he will give up on claiming it. Because Meimar Amar, he will say to himself, Simana leisle begave, I don't have a siman begave on the item, and therefore he would give up. And we say, Mehashta hud miyayish, he gives up on finding it retroactively. Let's go to our board. In this case, where the item does not have a siman, Rava says that the finder may keep it, and Abaya says that the finder may not keep it. Why? Let's go to the case. In the case where the person walked away and he lost his item and does not have a siman on it, Abaya would say it only takes effect, the yush, when the person gives up, is when the owner says, I am giving up. And that is only happens when he realizes that he lost his item. Therefore, the person who found it earlier, because when he found it, the owner didn't give up, he needs to return it. However, Rava would say, it works retroactively. As soon as the owner of the item, says, I give up, means that as soon as he lost it, he gave up. It's not a new idea. So this is the end of this Gemara, that Abaya and Rava argue in a case where the item does not have a siman, and Abaye would say that the finder may not keep it, and Rav will say that the finder may keep it. And this is the end of this lesson.